Hey everyone, the Motivational Professor here with your midweek crude oil analysis. So a couple of things I want to kind of get into on the chart. We're going to be breaking down the 8-hour chart. And then we also want to keep a couple things in mind as we move forward. Okay, first of all, there is going to be economic news that is popping out at around 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, keep that in mind, especially if you are already in a position. But I'm going to be giving you some parameters here coming up. And lastly is congratulations to all of the team members who took our crude oil trade yesterday. We talked about price getting to 81. This was all put inside of our private chat area. So again, if you have not had the opportunity to join our members area where you're going to get exclusive feedback from me, motivation, coaching, mentoring for $5 a month, crazy, ridiculous, go down to the link in the video description, and we hope to see you inside of our members area. So let's go ahead and break now down crude oil. So let's kind of take a look at what crude oil is doing. And again, if you get some value on today's video, definitely you can help me out by hitting the like button. So here we are on crude oil. We are currently sitting at the 8-hour chart. So first thing I want to do on the 8-hour chart is I want to kind of draw a fib level down here. Okay, so as you can see here, we are approaching the 61.8, which tends to be somewhat of a reversal area. And then the last thing I do want to do is I want to go ahead and add, and I suggest that you do this as well, a moving average simple, especially for today. I want to be able to take a look at the 50-day moving average and look for areas that it can give us opportunities to enter with regards to the 50-day moving average, which you can see here, we kind of dropped on the 8-hour. So let's kind of bring this up here and let's kind of take a look at what we are looking at here for the 8-hour time frame. Now, we do have an area of resistance sitting right up here, and I want to go ahead and make sure I mark that right in here. Okay, so we are kind of approaching this area. And again, that's why the fib levels, are so important. If you do the fib levels correctly, even though you may have a multi-time frame analysis, it also lets you know where you might find some support and resistance within that level. So as we look at the 4-hour, and we will be dropping down to the, as we look at the 8-hour, and we will be dropping down to the 4-hour, we have to expect this resistance to happen now. Okay, again, the market just opened. And so, if we get some type of pullback, right, depending on what comes out with the news, that's what's going to play around. We may not see a lot of movement inside of the market until that news release. So again, if we look at the 4-hour, right, we've got to consider this as an area of resistance, right? This area right in here. So again, we're not going to really look to buy or to sell just yet. I would want to go up a little bit higher if you're looking to possibly take a sell position, and we're going to show you that, here on the smaller time frame. Because again, I don't think we're going to see a lot of movements, but we're probably going to see some movement as far as false movement until the market has decided, kind of what to do there. So again, this is the kind of stuff that we want to take a look at, and we want to kind of drop down to the 5-minute time frame here in just a minute. Okay, so we're sitting here on the hour. We're seeing this rejection happening here right now. We saw it here earlier. We saw it here, and we saw here it was an area of support. Now, we are this far down on the 50-day moving average, and that's where I want to see price come back down to for me to take a buy on crude oil. I'm not going to take a buy from this area right in here, okay? And I'm going to give you that scenario here on a smaller time frame. And the reason why is because you want to give yourself a better opportunity to get into a better price point, right? You want to buy when it's low and you want to sell at its highest point possible. So if you were looking to possibly sell crude oil because you want to scalp it, then your sell should be happening up here in this area, but it would be risky, right? Because we have news coming out. Now, let's drop all the way down to the 15-minute time frame, okay? Because I want to show you something, okay? Here, you can see here that before, when we came down here, let me grab my arrow. I like to use this as a pointer, right? We dropped from here, and we dropped from here at the bottom of the base. Well, we're kind of in that same area now, but we are creeping a little bit higher. So in this area up here, I'm going to kind of move this over so you can kind of see it, right? We can see price beginning to move forward up towards 8,200, which I think is going to be, definitely a psychological number that is going to be hit. So let me give you now a couple of scenarios that you can play with. Now, again, I'm going to give you two types of scenarios. Again, you have to manage your risk. You have to know your lot size. You have to know your account size. And you got to put yourself in a high probability trade to at least be able to scalp the market for what I call 20 to 30 cents or 20 to 30 ticks if you're on the future side, right? So again, you've got to look at these key areas here. So as we kind of dive back, just seeing kind of what's happening here with the market, okay, if you're going to take some form of sell opportunity, this would be the sell. This would be the short. I would say up here with a stop loss of above this area, probably right in there, bringing it back down to this area right here. So you're talking a nice 2-to-1. Okay. So again, this is if you decide that you are going to sell. I would sell up in this area, okay, with a tighter stop loss. And again, you can make the stop loss as tight as you like, because at this point, what's going to happen is if we do break this area right in here, let me bring the pointer so you can see, right? If we do break this area, then we might see this scenario right in here. So on the flip side, and again, you may want to look at hedging your trade. You may want to do something like this. And again, if you get stopped out on one way, then at least you know you're going long on another way, okay? You would need to do kind of a break and retest in this area. So I would say coming back down at least here, below this low would be your low right in here. And you want to take it to the next fib level up here. So again, we're talking here. Now we're almost a 2-to-1, but not necessarily. Okay. So we're kind of in this area here because if we do break like this and we get a break, a retest, we're going to probably go back up here. Okay. I personally want to see price come back down. And this would be a great area for me to buy. I'm going to show you where here in just a minute. Okay. To come back down towards the 50-day moving average, but not on the 15-minute, on the 1 hour. Okay. I would love to see price come back down to 80.70. I just don't know if we're going to get there right now because of this push. But if we do come back down, okay, then obviously I'm looking to buy somewhere here on the 1 hour time frame. But these are your two scenarios when it comes to the 15-minute chart. Okay, these would be your two scenarios here. We can kind of see that we just got that rejection here, and we're down 20 points. So, if you took that trade, by the time you see this video, you may not have missed an opportunity. But again, this one here is riskier. Okay, let me tell you why. This one here, right? This is going to be riskier. Why? Oops, my bad. I needed a text box. Okay, this is going to be riskier because from everything I've seen on the news reports, we might be going higher, okay, on crude oil. So this one is riskier, okay? Letting price kind of come back down. Now that I see that, let's adjust that to the 50-day moving average. Let's adjust that to something like this, okay? This is, this low right here. Okay, maybe something like this will give you a better offer. This one is riskier just based on possible news reports from what I'm seeing, okay? So, these are kind of your two scenarios that you have in play. Are we going to, if we go above 82, we're going to go up to at least 82.50. So this would be your first take profit. Let me grab a line here. 82.50. I'll actually make it 49.48. That'll be your first take profit. If we go above here, okay, then we're expecting this to happen. Price to come back up, then price to retest this area, and then to go back up. Okay. Now, again, this is a fairly larger area on the 15. It looks that big. Okay. If we kind of bring it in here, that's what we're looking. Some type of pullback in this area, and then continue on towards 82.50, which is where we have a heavy level of support and resistance up in this area. So this sell is riskier. I would look for some type of buying opportunity, especially if we can get price to come back down. Anywhere in this area would be a great buying opportunity back up in here. Okay. So again, you can extend this. This is just, I'm actually going to put this at this fib level. Actually, this is a good level right here. I'm going to put this back at this fib level. I think this makes actually better sense because I just noticed this wick right here. Okay. So I'm going to put this as kind of possible entry with stop loss, but taking this back up as far as this high, which is now a nice almost 3-to-1. But again, keep in mind that you do have resistance here. But if we break this resistance and we go above here, 82, we're going to kind of move back up into this area. So again, a couple of different scenarios for you to play with. Here's the deal, though. If you are not used to trading news, or you don't want to trade news, or you get a bad feeling in your gut, don't trade news, right? Do not trade news. I will probably wait to see what news does, but if price drops, I'm going to be bullish on crude oil. I think we're going to probably hit 82 by tomorrow. Okay, that's just my gut feeling. I think we already broke 81. We might see a pullback, and then I think we might see a continuation back up into the high 81 area. So anything down into the 80s, 79s, I think it's definitely a buying opportunity, especially we've got the hurricane out there. We don't know how much damage it did out on the Gulf Coast. So again, I expect some type of movement up with crude oil, and you might see some movement down or up to trap traders before the news. But again, if you are not comfortable trading the news, please do not trade the news. Okay, that's the kind of the update for today. I hope you got some value. Smash the like button if you did, and if you're not yet in the members area, we love to see you. Go down below to the video description area, click on the link, join up for $5. You have nothing to lose. That's a cup of coffee. Try it out for a few months, and you're going to see the massive value that you get inside of our private chat and general chat area. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a beautiful day and have a blessed day as well.